Have you ever sat back and wondered to yourself, how did we get to this point? How did smartphones start to get to the price point of $1,000? What you actually have to do is you have to do your history. You got to consider what were cell phones like when they were first introduced. And you really got to go back to the early 90s. Back then, there were just, a couple of models that were available, and they were very, very expensive, approaching the $2,000 mark. So it's not unprecedented that cell phones are expensive. However, recently they've taken a turn in an upward trend to become more and more expensive than they have been in recent history. So, starting with the iPhone, first generation that was offered from the Steve Jobs made uh, original iPhone, that phone sold for about $600. Currently, the iPhone 10 is being marketed and sold at $1,000. So, what's happened between then and now, from 2007 to 2017, in just 10 years? We also have the Note 8, which is currently selling at $930. You might find it for $940 or $950 depending on your carrier. And of course, again, trending towards the $1,000 smartphone. Now, if you're talking international, so anywhere outside of the United States, these phones increase in price. Just finding them is hard enough, and when you do, they're going to be even more money. So currently in the US, you're paying the prices I've mentioned earlier. But if you go to another country, somewhere in Europe like the UK or any other interior European country, you may pay between 30 to 50% more. So costs could exceed $1,200 to up to $1,500 for an iPhone 10 or a Galaxy Note 8. So thinking about those prices, what has caused the price to increase so much so fast? Well, the bottom line is it's you. It's the consumer. He who is willing to pay the price to have the product sets the demand, also sets the supply and the price. So think about what consumers are looking for. You, the consumer. You want new features, you want more features. That requires research and development. That requires marketing and advertising so you can see the devices. And then there's manufacturing processes and there's components to the phone. All of this adds up. So to give you perspective, the Samsung Galaxy S8 has an estimated cost of about $380 to build. And that's not including, the advertising and the marketing campaigns that go into it. The iPhone 10 is estimated to be at a building cost of about $412 to $420. That being the case, it also doesn't consider advertising and marketing because that's going to be coming into play as the phone is up for sale and we start to see more and more of those commercials, the ads, and the promotion of the product. Now, all of these things that we've considered also involves development and time. So over the course of a year to 2 years as a phone is being developed, there are people logging, hundreds, thousands of hours of labor into creating this new device. So considering all those things, you have the consumer that wants capabilities, they want a powerful device that can do a lot. They want dual cameras. They want a phone with artificial intelligence that's going to learn. Some are looking for VR capabilities and high-end gaming with expensive and powerful SoCs and processors, high-resolution screens, OLED technology as opposed to LCD. All of these things add up. So considering supply and demand and a couple of other key factors of what people are willing to pay, this is kind of interesting. People just love to keep up. They see the next person with a device and they want to upgrade because they see it. And that's that keeping up with the Jones thing that definitely makes people want to upgrade even though they necessarily shouldn't or don't have to. And to be honest with you, some people legitimately, even though they justify to themselves that they don't need it, I don't need to upgrade, they still do anyway. Literally, their thought process is crazy, borderline obsessive and delusional. And they just have this perception that in order to be socially accepted, they need to upgrade to the newest iPhone or Galaxy Note or whatever. But then you think about what types of phones are offered from some of the more affordable brands. And you've got affordable phones that hover around the $300 to $500 mark. And they are fully capable, able to do everything that a $1,000 smartphone can do. With the exception of some of the more fancy extras like the dual camera setup, like a specialized iris scanner. But as a functional phone and a functional device, They do very well and they're very capable. So yes, you're not going to get the most recent innovations that are just developed in the same calendar year, but you will soon get them with the mid-range phones and the older, flagship phones. So with patience, you will get those features and in the process save a lot of money and still have a good functional phone. So I'm going to let this circle back around now. The reason smartphones are expensive is because of what the consumer demands. And when the consumer is willing to pay a price, the companies will set the price. And I'm not making any predictions or anything, but I think it's up to you guys. I think you can actually, let me know in the comment section below. What do you think is the maximum people are willing to pay for a smartphone? That $2,000 mark we saw in the early 1990s for those really exclusive cell phones, that's not so far-fetched. I think some people would be willing to pay that now just to have something special on an iPhone or a Galaxy Note or whatever. I think it's crazy. I think it's outrageous. I would never pay that money myself. But hey, some consumers would, and that's why we're seeing the price at the way it is right now. $1,000, that's just what it is today. Who knows what it's going to hit in the coming years. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you guys. I appreciate your viewership very much. Please give this video a like and a share. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Again, thank you for watching. This is Sneed from Sneed Mobile Tech, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.